I don't understand why people live with you but don't like you. I don't understand it for the life of me. Now, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to title this video because I was just sitting here doing some thinking. And I figured, you know what, let me do a video about this because it's just wearing on my spirit and it's just wearing on my nerves. And reason being is because I have two individuals that live with me. One person is a new tenant that I'm renting a room to. The other has been here for quite some time that is a family member. And for any of you that know me that come across this video, you're going to know who I'm talking about. And I know for a fact that the family member always has negative things to say about me, but yet continues to live with me. And I just don't understand for the life of me. If I don't care for somebody, I'm not going to continue to live with them. I'm going to make my own way and go on about my business. Now, shame on me because I've said in the past that I wasn't going to let anybody live with me ever again. But then I feel sorry and I feel bad, and then I wind up letting people go ahead and come live with me. And it never fails. It bites me in the butt every single time. So when I say, for your peace of mind, for your sanity, for the peace of your household, your house should be your sanctuary. That should be, if nowhere else, the place where you have your solitude, your peace, and where you are in charge, and you don't have to walk around on eggshells because somebody else may feel some kind of way. But what they feel, how do you feel? Because right now, my energy is not feeling good. And it has not been for some time. But, you know, you be thinking, okay, well, dang, if I have this person move, where are they going to go? That's not your problem. For you to do, what you need to do is give them advance notice to where they can start making arrangements to look for other accommodations. Say it as nice as you can, but believe me, I don't care how nice you say it, they're going to have an attitude in the end when it's time for them to leave. They're going to have an attitude. And let me tell you how I know this. Because as I was saying earlier, I have had people live with me before. And when it was time for them to go, they had an attitude every single time. And let me tell you why it was time for them to go. One, which was a family member, was lying about her income, her money. She kept telling me that her money wasn't coming in, her money wasn't coming in. Well, as luck would have it, or as God would reveal to me, she actually had money coming in. Confronted her about it, looked me straight in the face, lied about it. I had proof in my hand, like paper showing, I see that you've been going to the ATM machine, pulling money out. But straight face lied. I said, okay, I'm going to give you 2 weeks and you have to move out. You got to go. Well, don't think she wasn't gone in the next 2 days. Out of there. Did I ever get an apology for the lies and the deception? No, I didn't. But guess what? That's on her, not on me. I did my part by opening my home and letting her come stay. And that's what I got in the end. That's one. Now it's a family member. 2, a friend. Used to work together. Now these are old. These were back in like 2000, early 2000s. early 2000s. And a friend, she was living with her son, couldn't stand the girlfriend, or whatever the case. Oh, helpful me. Girl, come on over here. You could come stay. So that's on me. I opened up the door, allowed her to come in. Initially, when she first came, she was working. She had a job. But shortly after that, that came to a halt. So here I am, the only one getting up every morning, going to work, taking my kids to school, taking my kids up out wanting football, come home. She lounging, parlaying around, and I'm just like, wait a minute. This ain't what this is supposed to be. I mean, at least if you're gonna be that person, contribute some other kind of way. Like offer to make dinner, make sure the house is spick and span and clean. Stay under the radar. Nope. Some people, they don't care. And so I had to try and gently, and I'm a person, I'm non-confrontational. I don't like confrontation. I don't like conflict, none of that. So it was really hard for me to try and figure out how to say, okay, this is not working. I'm gonna need you to, cause then she was there, then her son wound up coming there, then her daughter wound up coming. I'm just like, wait a minute, what is this? I was like, oh my gosh, oh no. So I had another friend tell me, well, just get some moving boxes and, put them in her space to kind of let her know you want her to move out. I would put the moving box. I brought the moving boxes in. I looked. They was back out in the hallway. Woo! When I say I have been through some stuff, she put the boxes back, so I just had to finally just put my big girl underwears on and say, "Hey, this is not working. So I'm gonna have to ask you. You're gonna have to move out." And, at the time, me and my husband was having issues. So that was another thing. If you married, you really don't need no women living in your house with you and your man. That's something else, right? Ooh, so that didn't go too well. She wound up moving out. Attitude, all kind of stuff. I mean, and I put it as nicely as I could. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter how nice you are. When it's time for these people to go, one, because they're ungrateful in the first place. Some of them, asked you over and over and over to come stay. Some I invited. And so again, I'll take full accountability for that. But that was another person. A third person that let stay with me. This was the family member of my ex-husband. Money came up missing out of my purse. That was the only other person that was around where my money grew legs and walked. So I had to confront her and ask her about it. Of course, I'm going to get it wasn't me. I didn't touch money. So what do I have to do? I have to say, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to move out. You're going to have to move. That situation didn't end well. So none of those situations ended well where I had to ask those people to move out of my house when I opened my house up to them and allowed them to come and stay out of the kindness of my heart. And none of them ended well. None of them ever apologized for how they left on bad terms. And again, I was as nice as I could be with asking them to leave or telling them, that they were going to have to leave. Why? Because when people do you wrong, they want to turn the tables around and act like you were the villain, you did something to them. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg with, certain situations like that. People steal from you or you loan people money. When you ask them for your money back, you the villain for asking for the money back. So one thing I've learned about when you loan money, which anybody will tell you this that knows anything about it, Never loan any more than you can afford to lose. That way, if you don't get it back, it's no sweat off your back. Or better yet, just don't loan it. Just give it as a gift. You know, if it's a small amount, here's the gift. Because you shouldn't be loaning large amounts in the first place. So anyway, back to the roommates. So those were, like I said, back way in the early 2000s. And then fast forward up to now. Not now, but maybe a couple of years ago. So another sort of family member, but closely related, closely tied to me, asked me a couple of times if they could come stay with me. First couple of times I was like, no, that just goes against, one of my boundaries, I guess. I don't allow anybody to live with me anymore because I've had bad experiences. This person asked me like 3 times what I do. Gave in again. But I told that person, I said, please don't make me regret letting you come stay here. And then, people, they so nice when they want to get their foot in the door. Oh, they going to keep it clean. They going to keep it quiet. They going to be under the radar. They going to be out of the way. They going to pay you on time. All the goodness, right? Get their foot in the door. Got the foot in the door. I mean, things were okay for a minute, off and on. But when I say people don't know how to respect your space, I mean, room looking all crazy, like the clothes monster vomited in the room, just stuff everywhere. Like, when I gave you this room, it was gorgeous, beautiful, a nice, welcoming, calm, clean space. And you get a hold of it and turn it into a dumpster, like a minefield. Like when they take all the trash and they take it to this area and they just dump it. Looks like that. So you like, really? So anyway, with that particular situation, I gave a deadline for that person to move out. But then that person circled back around and asked for more time. They want to file taxes and all of that and then move. So I said, okay. But what did that person do? And I always say it. If you ever decide to move out sooner or whenever you decide to move out, just give me a heads up. That's just respect. That's all. What did that person do? Decided not to tell me that they were going to move out. I found out on a whim because I was asking about the upcoming rent. Now, mind you, 2 weeks before, the individual had assured me, oh yeah, I have the rent money, and they were also paying me money for a car note. I had helped get a car for them. I have the rent money, and I'm going to have the car note. I'm like, oh, okay, very good. That was 2 weeks before the beginning of the month was to come. And so the week of time to pay the rent, I just kind of noticed that it looked like some of their belongings was disappearing. Because from time to time I would go through that room to the garage, not trying to pay attention to nothing in their room, and they knew that I would go that way. And so I saw some of the items was missing, some of the clothes were not in the room. So I sent a message, just inquiring about the rent. And then I got, the response was, oh, change of plans. I'm actually going to be moving out. Now, this was the very end of the month. Yeah, because it was like Halloween. I'm actually going to be moving out. My boyfriend and I got approved for an apartment. So, yeah, when I get off work today, I'm going to get the rest of my things. I was like, what? So I was livid. I felt some kind of way. So before I knew it, I texted back. I said, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. that was the way you're moving was very disrespectful. I kindly asked you to give me notice ahead of time if you were going to move out, because why be sneaky and creep out? I mean, you begged me to come here. I gave in, let you come. You asked me 3 times. I gave in, I let you come. I specifically said to you, don't make me regret letting you come here. So just the way she moved when it was time to move out was just, in my opinion, just totally disrespectful. Showed a great sign of not being grateful for the help that I extended her, because I didn't want to see her in a bad situation, which she was in. Her own mother wouldn't let her come stay with her over there. So, as a proxy mom, I allowed her to come stay, young adult. And that was the thanks that I got in the end for that. Now, not saying I don't do anything for kudos or accolades or anything. I do it out of the kindness of my heart. And I'm sharing the stories with you guys. Maybe somebody resonates with what I'm saying, and it's disheartening to know that people will turn around and treat you that way. They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, or however that goes. I'm not looking for anything spectacular, but just to reciprocate some respect and just some thankfulness and some gratitude. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. And so now I'm at a point in my life. I thought I learned my lesson the first few times. Obviously, I did not. But did I learn my lesson this time? Yes, I have. And when I clean house this time, I'm not bending my rules ever again. I'm standing 10 toes down. Nobody can come stay with me again. Nobody can rent a room. I'll send you a couple of dollars so you can rent a motel room until you get it figured out. I'll DoorDash you some food so that you can eat. But never again am I going to jeopardize my peace in my home, in my sanctuary, by putting others before myself, because that's exactly what is happening. And that's what happens when you are kind of like a people pleaser, or you're an empath, or you're a person that want to fix things all the time. You wind up getting burned and left holding the bag, and then left looking like, what just happened here? Because things shift so fast, you don't know what hit you upside the head. So let this be a lesson to you. I don't know what to tell you. And that goes for friends and family. So, I just say a prayer for them, a prayer for myself. I know that I had good intentions every single time that I've helped, but it's not on me the way people respond. It's on me for how I respond. And now, just like in relationships with a man, you have to know your boundaries. You have to know your non-negotiables, and don't settle. I am never going to settle ever again. This is going to be my last rodeo with this type of arrangements. Um, I can't do it anymore. And my peace is really disturbed, which is what has caused me to come and do this video. And I just wanted to share because it may resonate with somebody. Prayerfully, you are not going through anything like this. But you just never know who you're opening up yourself to, or who you're opening up your home to, because, energy never lies. And that's the thing that